folks, it's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show, and I'm Gary.
And I am Mark.
And we're coming to you not live.
But we are live.
We're alive.
And it's been a long time since we've been alive here.
Yes, it has.
So where are we, Gary?
Well, we're on the porch of Saluda Outfitters in Saluda, North Carolina.
And they are one of our first sponsors.
Yes, they are.
Actually, they're probably the only sponsor that actually has something involved that helps us out financially.
Yes.
And what is that special treat we get, Gary?
Well, it's I don't want to give away any secrets.
That's true.
After we've paid for our first beer, if we're still able to have a second beer,
that's true.
That's on them.
That is.
Thank you, Saluda Outfitters.
And Green River Eddy's Tap Room and Grill.
There you go.
Because I'm looking at the sign over there. They have a food truck permanently parked. I guess that's a food caboose or something. What would you call that thing?
A trailer?
Trailer. I have to take a picture of that and put it online.
Yeah. A caravan. Would they call that a caravan in England?
And when I pulled in here just a few minutes ago to set up, there was no one here, and now this place is packed.
It is.
It is a jumping place in Saluda.
Yeah.
Right off of 176 and Interstate 26.
Yeah.
And they have music live music every weekend. And I see it right next to you, cornhole.
Yeah.
Other games.
Yeah.
Full service outfitters.
There you go.
Right here. So, Gary, what do we got going on these days?
You mean in August?
In August, yeah.
Well, I did a little research.
You always do research.
Yeah, I know. A little research, like things that happen in August. And I'm not going to go, I am going to go back a little far. Let's go back to Roman times.
That's pretty far.
That's pretty far. And it was like, I don't know how they came up with, we need some more months in the calendar. But they added some months, and this one, of course, is named after Augustus. Right?
So how many months do they have before they added?
You know, I didn't go into like maybe it was like a rebranding thing. Maybe the calendar. We need to work on that. We need a new logo. We need So anyway, they came up with August after Augustus, and what jumped out at me about August. You have all the. Did you know that August is officially Catfish Month?
No, I did not.
Well, it is.
And I like fried catfish, personally.
Fried catfish is my all-time favorite fish.
I wonder if this guy sells any.
Oh, man, look at that.
He's the cook bringing in a nice plate of food.
Look at those fries.
Ooh, they look good.
Yeah, they do.
We should take a picture of that, too, before we leave.
Yeah. Yeah, so that let's see. And the Saxons referred to August as Weed Month.
Because of what?
I guess
weeds
are
were
they
growing?
Weeding or were they early marijuana smokers?
Could have invented that.
So other things that took place in August. In 1947, the Kon-Tiki concluded. Thor Heyerdahl.
As a kid, I read that book. My dad gave me that book, and it was interesting. I guess that started my love of adventure, though I was never that adventurous.
Yeah.
I would get in a swimming pool sometimes on a float. That was as close as I could get.
And it was in August of 1929 that Babe Ruth hit his 500th home run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you there? You're not that old.
I was not there. Okay. Now,
you just heard about that.
But speaking of dinosaurs,
in
1990, in August, a T-Rex was discovered in South Dakota. How about that?
Well, yeah, it seems odd. You never think about dinosaurs in the U.S., but of course they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And you got to Wyoming, there's a lot of dinosaur dig places and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have mentioned before, and I don't want to bring up sad subjects, but you and I were actually on a trip in 77 waiting to get picked up from our hike where we attempted to find Dismal Falls, which is now part of Panthertown.
Okay.
But we didn't find it.
We have that's a theme with us, is not finding places you set out for.
Yeah.
I'm just at the back of the line.
Well, but we were picked up by Dick Jordan, who'd picked up a little Tennessee paddling trip, and he gave us the news that Elvis had died.
I do remember that.
Yep.
And, you know, I was not a huge fan of Elvis back then, but I am now.
Yeah.
Kind of like Hank Williams. I like him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like Hank Williams a lot. Yeah, I agree. Yep. So that's the August stuff I have.
Well, you know, I found...
and is it today? I mean, this is the 5th, of course. 120 years ago today, Louis Armstrong was born.
Really?
Yeah.
I
like him.
Me too. I always wish I could have heard him at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Down in New Orleans when I lived there. I did get to hear Pete Fountain one time, and I think I missed Al Hurt, but they were all New Orleans great musicians.
Yeah.
Well, I have one date.
Okay.
It's kind of a somber one, but on this day, now it's actually I think the 4th or 5th, but today's I don't even know what day it is. But around this time, Anne Frank and her family were discovered and arrested and sent to concentration camps. And, you know, I've been to her, that annex, 3 times in Amsterdam, and plan to be back there in 2022.
Are you?
Yeah.
Got a trip? Okay.
So, you know, Gary, this is the 50th year you and I have known each other.
Yep.
You know, our original logo for this podcast said something like, I don't know what, nearly 50 years of friendship or almost 50 years. And now it is 50 years.
Yeah, we're going on for our second 50.
That's right. That's going.
Yeah, and you know, I thought about this is that time of year at camp back when you and I both worked at Mondamon. When it's winding, you know, it was an 8-week session.
Right. Yeah.
And you're getting to your last 2 weeks back then, and so this was when the kids, if they hadn't really done much, they'd try and figure out what could they do to kind of go out with a bang. And so, you know, this was the time of year the 2-week hikes would go out back when they had them.
Wow, 2 weeks.
Or if a kid hadn't done much and he wanted some kind of different sort of hike, I remember one year being let off with some underachieving boys who wanted to try and do something. We got let off where the Art Loeb crosses the parkway, and we walked from there back to camp.
Woo.
Yeah.
How was the last 10 miles of that?
Well,
what were you doing?
Actually, the last couple of miles.
I bet you came down to Green River Road or something.
Well, we did to the old CC Road, and we camped one night. Actually, it was a cabin that York Falling Creek Big Top had, and then later I think Greystone owns it now. We were there. That was our final night where we were, and then the walk-in that day, they were working on building the 4-lane, so it was just a dirt road bed. It was nice and soft.
Pretty cool.
So we took that. I mean, that took us almost all the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, these days, I just came back with a group of kids on a trip, and many of them were thinking, wow, 10 days is a long time, and here's a single backpacking trip for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the camp was 8 weeks long, and kids can't even understand that these days.
You know, I think they only did the 2-week hike 71. I can tell you that 71 through 74.
Wow. And
then by that time, kids didn't want to go.
So were they provisioned for the whole 2 weeks? I mean, all the food?
That was the first one, which went out, which will go down in infamy.
I bet.
Where they were using freeze-dried food, which was pretty new back then. Said, hey, we can do it all with this stuff and have everything we need. And the late Gene McDowell led that trip. Mm-hmm. And he realized somewhere into the trip, these kids were really starving for real food. And he knew it was bad when part of it was a road walk, and a flatbed truck drove by and a cabbage rolled off.
Oh, gosh.
And all of a sudden, all the kids are like fighting for the cabbage. So
that's pretty impressive when a kid wants to fight over a cabbage.
Yeah. So at that point, I think the first 2-week hike got some sort of legendary status about where they got food and how they
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Even backpackers on the Appalachian Trail usually get
five to 6 days.
5 to 6 days that they get resupplied. Well, that's some good ways to get this show started. This is episode number 46. But you know what? We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to try to get caught up with what's happening in Watershed.
That would be good.
And we're going to try to get DeeDee on the phone.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to be right back. All right, so we took a quick break, and we have not been down to Watershed in a while.
I haven't been there in so long.
It's been a long time, but we have a contact down there that stays there most of the time.
Yeah.
We have DeeDee on the phone. Are you there, DeeDee?
I'm here.
How are things going down there?
It's going, this dadgum pandemic. It seems like it's never going to end.
I was going to ask you about that because I'm ready for it to end, and I thought you could take care of it.
Well, if muscle could beat it back, it would have been gone a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it's been too long, and that's why we can't get down there. But have there been any super spreader events down in Gary Mark Podcasting University or any place over there in Watershed?
Well, there's always somebody trying to start up some foolishness, have a party or some such stuff. But, me and the gals, we keep a close eye on things, and we make sure to bust it up if people think that they can get into these super spreader kind of situations. We let them know that that's just not acceptable.
Yeah. So,
what about, how are things at the university? Are they pretty dispersed? Because I haven't been on the campus in so long, and I know one of the many hats you wear, you're part of campus insecurity.
Yeah.
Well, I take my job very seriously, and I'm just not having any of the shenanigans. The campus has luckily been pretty quiet, but there's always somebody who thinks it's and who could blame these young people? They've been, they got no event horizon. 15 minutes seems like a lifetime to them. So to be locked up like we have been for the last year and a half or so, really tough on them. But I don't have a lot of sympathy for people who are just knuckleheads, It wouldn't be so concerning if these variants weren't popping up. I'm sure by now everybody's heard about the Delta, but now we got the Lambda. And
are you making that up? Are you making that up?
Oh, no, there's a Lambda variant that's popped up in Texas because, people ain't got a lick of sense anywhere in the country, and I'm just afraid we're going to have to go through the whole Greek alphabet and start with some other alphabet before this thing's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think you're right. That's troubling because some of those alphabets, I see the characters, and I don't even know how you pronounce them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greek's bad enough.
Yeah.
Boy, good thing it's not Latin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're about the same. Well, I mean, you still got that job at the dollar store?
I pop by there on the regular and make sure, things are looking good there. We got an understanding, me and the manager, so, it's all good. I got a lot of irons in the fire, and luckily most of them I can do without heavy contact with individuals. But, I'm not afraid of a little contact if that's what it takes.
Well, I would say it probably takes a lot of contact. I mean, I was just out west, and there were signs everywhere said, if you were vaccinated, masks are optional. If you're not vaccinated, please wear your mask. And I can almost guarantee you, DeeDee, that everybody in there not wearing a mask, half of them were not vaccinated. And they're not on the honor system anymore. So what do you do about that?
I mean, the problem is that, if you don't wear a mask, people are going to assume you're vaccinated. If you do wear a mask, they're going to think, if you are vaccinated, that you're a pure D idiot for wearing a mask, or they're going to think you're unvaccinated and be mad at you about that. I mean, I think right now you can't win.
Yeah.
But given all that, I wear my mask. If I step foot out of the house, I got a mask on. That's just DeeDee's rules, and I'm sticking with it. I not only feel it's important to protect myself, but I got to protect those people I don't even know. that's just called, community spirited. I think it's the way to be, and that's just my take on things. Everybody got to do their own thing, but they can just stay away from me.
Well, boy.
I see it. Remember the World War I poster where it's Uncle Sam kind of looking at you? I could see a poster with it's DeeDee pointing.
You know what?
Telling you to wear your mask.
That would scare a lot of people into submission.
Yeah.
Well, I have been told that I have a rather steely gaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from the times we've seen you, I'd agree with them.
Yes.
Yeah, you make us shake.
And a firm voice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going out to my car right now and putting on my mask.
I was going to ask you, Gary, you're wearing yours when you go in?
I'm now. The other day I started putting it on again when I go grocery shopping. If I'm outside and there's distance, I don't. I try and keep distance. Oh, boy, here comes a big old plate of French fries.
I got to take some big. I can tell Gary wants French fries. All right, that's off the subject there, Gary.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, she's not wearing a mask, but that's okay.
So I got to. That's a tough subject there about the mask thing. DeeDee, did you know that August is officially it's Catfish Month?
Well, of course I knew that, Gary. What kind of fool do you think I am?
Well, I didn't know that. I mean, goodness gracious, you're trying to make me feel bad.
It's
here.
also Peach Month.
Well, I bought some peaches yesterday.
Yeah.
They were good. Local peaches.
Peaches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They don't grow those down your way, do they, DeeDee?
Well, I can usually find some nice peaches if I go looking for them. There's some roadside stands, it's a nice bike ride down the road.
Yeah, so speaking of biking, how those Wicked Women Watershed gang doing?
Everybody's hanging in there, thanks. We've got like-mindedness about safety in all aspects, not just road rules, but also coronavirus rules. We had a meeting early on via Zoom, and everybody, got clear on what the rules were, and we just, because we take it upon ourselves to be out in the community and to try and help people act right, we got to set a good example.
Well, y'all probably do.
We try.
You and the mayor are probably the most upstanding citizens in that community.
Well, I can't speak to the mayor.
Mayor Thomas.
Yeah, he won't talk to me, as you know.
That's true. You scared him off a while back, but
well, that's his problem, not mine.
Yeah, well, he could be a little wimpy sometimes, I guess.
So I got another. What's the buzz going on around Watershed about the Olympics? Even though G&MPU, we don't have any of our student athletes participate.
We don't. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I have not. I don't sit around and watch TV Olympics.
No.
I'm sure it's good. I've caught a couple of headlines on the internet or whatever, but good for them. Whatever they're doing, I feel like it was probably a mistake for them to hold this, given that people coming from all over the world and so many of those athletes have ended up sick, and that it just seems, unfair that you've spent your whole career working toward this, and then you get disqualified at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
And, you might not have gotten the disease if you hadn't gone to this thing. So I don't know. Again, people got to make their own decisions, but I wouldn't have wanted to have to choose for this Olympic run.
No. Well, we can tell people that reason why GMPU did not send anyone is because we were worried about the COVID.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we weren't invited and didn't have any athletes capable of going, but we could use the line about COVID. We were being safe.
And then some of the, the events don't fit in with
that's true.
The events we
have some interesting ones. Yeah.
That
10-man triathlon.
Yeah. The racing frogs.
I know they should do that. Though. That's safe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or jumping frogs.
Yeah, frogs. They don't get COVID, I don't think.
Yeah.
May give us warts or something.
I thought,
man, here comes some more food, Gary. I'm telling you what. I'm going to take a picture of this place before we leave here.
Yeah, boy,
put it online. Yeah, it smells good too.
Can
you smell that, DeeDee?
Can you?
I cannot.
Oh, I guess you can't even see it either.
Oh man,
I can't smell it, and it's not because of COVID.
Okay.
Those are golden brown fries.
Wow.
They're just a wonderful color. So, I was thinking, here you go with these shows on TV where it's generally a couple and they're in charge of house repair, and it's the chatty woman and the kind of the guy who kind of nods along. And I thought I wonder if we could have like a watershed kind of repair show.
Yeah.
We could go in pretty much any home that needs work, but we would fix pretty much everything either with duct tape or zip ties.
There you go.
Well, I think it's a fine idea. You probably need to add one more thing to your toolbox there, and that's a can of WD-40.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a great show.
WD-40 zip ties, and in the old days it was wire, and binding twine, and wire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my theory of home repair, and I have this new RV, and I'm not about to do any modifications on it, but my theory is do no harm. Isn't that like the medical doctor's thing or something?
It is.
Yeah, so you should see my house. Any repair I've done, I made it worse.
Well, I saw your house last week.
And
I thought it looked just fine.
Well, that's because we went through it very quickly. Thank goodness. Yeah. Well, anyhow, DeeDee, it's been great talking with you.
Well, y'all are nice to check in with me. I hope things are going well in your world, and I encourage y'all to just be as safe as you can be.
Well, we will, and we might, if things get bad, we may just head to Watershed.
I know, it's probably safer down there.
Yeah.
So, DeeDee, campus, we didn't mention GMPU, the Gary and Mark Podcast University, where you can enroll and graduate in the same day, sometimes the same hour. So,
with no debt.
No debt. That's right. There is no tuition. There's hardly any classes.
You're right.
Yeah, you just kind of sign up.
Yeah.
I like that kind of degree.
We need to get some pencils.
Some
we've talked about
that.
And pencils.
Yeah, we got a sticker.
Yeah, sticker.
Yeah, you get that. And a diploma. We got a diploma. Free of charge. So, DeeDee, you hang on line just 1 minute. We're going to say goodbye to you, and we'll be right back, okay?
All right.
All right. Hang on there. All right. We are back, Gary.
Yep.
We just talked with DeeDee. That was a lot of fun. So that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Episode number 46.
Yeah, and I think the theme, wearing masks, I hope people start to get your shots and wear your mask.
Oh, my gosh. I know. I just, I was hoping this was over by now. How long has it been going on? A year and a half at least.
Was it March 1 when officially of 2020 things started shutting down? I mean, you saw it coming. I can't remember. It seems like it's March 1, something like that.
Of 2020, right? So now it's July. So, it's August already, right?
Yeah.
Gary, I've recently got some more free time on my hand, and for the first time in 2 years, I started to watch movies on TV.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever seen Borat, the subsequent movie?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen the first one?
I saw part of it and didn't.
It was funny. It was. I'm not sure because they're tricking people. I don't know how they. You ever seen those Bad Grandpa movies?
I know about them.
So they kind of hide cameras. I'm not sure that Borat thing worked that way or not. But,
well, remember the old original Candid camera,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. We should try. We should do some of those. How could we do some of those?
I don't know without being sued.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah, I thought I have this YouTube channel. You know about that.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be fun come fall to set up a booth somewhere and try to sell people leaves for projects, and they could dig their own. Like I have a box with leaves they can pick from, or I can hand them a prepackaged deal for 10 leaves for $1 or something, and see if I can film that. Think that'd be funny?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure about that.
Probably not, but I'm desperate for material.
Leave that.
There you go. Well, Gary, we ought to thank our sponsors. If we can think of their names, we got Saluda Outfitters, of course.
Yeah, we got them, and that's so we got Green River Eddy's big tap.
Yeah, the cook places. obscured by the Cintas uniform trucks. You can't read the sign. Big whatever the name is, Well, over here at Saluda Outfitters in Saluda.
And then
Big Whizz Pocket Buddy.
Big Whizz Pocket Buddy. And
we got
Rabbit Island.
Of course, Rabbit Island. And L.J. Meyers and his professional white dove releases.
Yeah.
And we also have Iron Key Brewing, which took a little break for a few weeks. But did you get my email today?
I haven't.
They're open back up.
Oh.
Tonight.
They got a cook, huh?
They got some cooks and people in the kitchen.
Good.
And we'll be back there. That'll be good.
Yeah.
So, Gary, it has been a good day.
Happy midsummer, Mark.
That's right. And we're looking forward to
midsummer.
And our next 50 years of friendship.
There you go.
All right, I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
This is the Gary and Mark Show. We'll see you soon.